welcome to Codemotion. Then this is an awesome event. I'm so happy to be here again this year. And we had a great time last year. And we spoke a lot about bots. This year I want to speak about video. Because there's a huge opportunity. And I tried to make a lot of demos because for a lot of developers, including myself, before joining Cisco, I had no experience with video. Then there's a lot of concepts to understand, and then I tried to make it very demo intensive so that you can get a feeling about what you can build with code. Okay. Most of my demos will be in Node, Node.js, JavaScript. Is JavaScript okay for everybody? Yes, I got that. Cool. Then, let's start. And how to embed video and messaging. A bit about myself before starting. I have a huge job, a great job. My job is I'm being paid to go to conference and speak with you. When I don't do that, I work to create resources on DevNet, developer.cisco.com, that you can access and take your learning steps, step by steps, okay, little by little, and you can learn the APIs we've got at Cisco, more than 80. And another piece of my work is to help at hackathons. I don't know if you have ever engaged at an hackathon, but we'll be having one in Geneva, and tomorrow, in fact, for the weekend. Then, if you don't know where to spend the weekend, just jump in the flight. I will be at the airport in 6 hours from now, and we'll be in Geneva all together for 24 minutes, and we will be able to experiment the APIs I'm going to show you. And then, what's on the menu? Show you what are calls, how to do messaging from code, how to create calls from code, and of course a lot of demos. Then, where are we standing? Well, an issue today that we can't ignore conversations anymore. When you create an app as a developer, you have a menu, you go, you click there, but it's human interactions, but it doesn't go to messaging, it doesn't go to voice. And this is the way people typically interact. And how can you build those conversations? Then, the difficulty here is that it's not at one moment you want to have a conversation. It's at any time. You're going to a meeting, you're coming back from a meeting, you don't choose. Sometimes you just want extra info, and then you go to a furious chat, and at any time you want to switch to a video call. Because it gets easier to do the conversation. You are ending up, you are done with typing. For that reason, we say at Cisco that collaboration is more like a continuous experience. Okay? And the best way to experiment it is to have a tool that can embrace all those experiences, whether you're chatting, going to a meeting, schedule one, or not schedule one. How do you create that? Then you need a platform. This is what we built at Cisco. It's called Cisco Spark Platform. It goes all the way to all the devices you can meet in a desk, a room, or in your pocket, your mobile phone. And then it lets you create calls and do chat from all these tools all together. It can also connect to your enterprise on-premise devices like rooms and IP phones. And this is what we are very known from, but maybe some of you didn't ever met those devices, and then in case you didn't, what I will use here during the demo is I will use the Spark application. Okay, it resides on your desktop. We have a web interface, and you also have mobile apps. I will connect from Spark to a video device. This is something you typically put on a desk when you're working, so that when you're just running your code and at any time someone can jump, and you can jump into a meeting with an high quality. This is what you will see. And we connect also IP phone that have exactly the same interface and capabilities. Then we have some bigger room devices. And one is very famous. It's called the Spark board. It helps you do some drawing. And also it's a presentation board. And it can also do video in real time. And it's all in one device. We've been recognized for creating this innovative device. And I think we've got one at Talent Garden. Then this is where you can go at any time at Talent Garden and meet the people there. We have Paola that is there twice a week, and she will be helping me with some demos. Another famous one in the enterprise is the larger, bigger one when you have great meetings. Then this is the way you typically go for a meeting, and this is what Cisco is recognized for, with a very large amount of customers and lots of device and innovation going on. Then you want that experience everywhere at any moment. But I wouldn't be here talking about that if everything wasn't exposed now as an API and with SDKs. Then first I'm going to do a short demo with the tools we have, and after that we will go to code, and I show you how to do to create the same experience from your apps, desktop or mobile or web apps. Then first, let's experience Spark. Then here is a Spark client I've got on my machine. Then this is a desktop version of Spark, and it runs on Windows, Mac, and you will also have a web version. Then here I can create a space. We can create a new one. A space is where you start collaborating with someone. It is persistent. Then I will call it Codemotion Demo, and I will invite some people I know, then Paula, and maybe I will invite some extra. Mandy, let's get in. Then it's that, and we're just 2 clicks, very easy interface, very pure, and you just can start chatting. Then how is it going? How was your flight? And then at any time, someone will say, hey, I want to move further. We need to get more information. We need to discuss in real time. Then I'm happy if one of you answers me, but for now, I'm feeling alone in this space. Okay, you haven't connected your device yet. Okay. Let's say at any time I want to start a conversation. Oh, now you're writing to me? Then here I have several options. I can start a whiteboard. This is where I can draw for a meeting. I can create a new meeting with a scheduled meeting, and I can create a code, and that's what gets interesting. Then here I'm 1 click away to start a real-time call, and from my computer, and I say now I will call all the people that are in that room. Then if Mandy manages to connect to the network, she will be able to join. But anyway, we will have Paola, who has already received the call and answers on a phone. She could be at her desk or anywhere. The nice part about this technology is that it has some hyperfrequency in there embedded, so that it can detect that a device is close to Paola. And Paola can choose from her mobile phone to swipe and to change the conversation so that now it happens on the desk. Then imagine you're just on your way, you start a meeting, or you're late, and then you jump into the room and you swipe and you continue the conversation from your favorite device, all of the device I showed. Okay. And with that quality that gets it, you've got, yeah, it's just beautiful. This is the way you want to have a device. Oh, and look at that. Mandy, join us, okay? And it's unlimited, okay? You can go to, this is the experience we have at Cisco with WebEx. You may have heard about it and you may have experienced. Then it's unlimited. Any people you want, we just, the secret here is that, I will stop my microphone. And if everybody's got mics, we will have some echo. And as we are in the same room. And the secret is that all the data, the video, goes to the cloud. And then we merge it, and it comes back to your device. Then it doesn't care. It's not peer-to-peer. It doesn't care if we are 1,000 in the room. You will still have the same quality. And when someone is speaking, it detects it and gets the stream down of that speaker in real time. Okay, this is what you can experience. How do you do that? You need video streams, you need audio streams, both ways, and you need to synchronize them in real time very quickly, and also to degrade or upgrade depending on the bandwidth. Then how can you get all that in your apps? Through APIs. Okay, let's go for that. Then, and oh, by the way, the name of this device is called a DX80. okay? Maybe it did not mean anything to you, but now you saw what the DX80 is, and you certainly want one on your desk. And they've got also some to show at Talent Garden. Then, how do you get those superpowers? Then, first, you need an access to Cisco Spark. How do you get that? You can pay for the product. Of course, Cisco will be happy. But as a developer, I like not to give any money to nobody. Just try to find a way to spend zero on hosting, on tools, and just it's the way I'm living for, okay? Try to find the best way not to spend any money. Then, Cisco Spark has got a free plan. You just go to ciscospark.com and you create an account, and what you'll get is all those device clients for free. You will get unlimited messaging and space. Then now you can create, I've got 3,500 space. I've got millions of message. We are 60,000 at Cisco discussing in real time. It's the most scalable and secure platform that exists today. And it's enterprise ready. Then you can get all that, and you can create also a call for up to 3 participants. And if it's 1-to-1 or 1-to-2, you and 2 other people, it's still in the box for free. And then just start playing with it tomorrow. But what interests me that when you create this account, you also have access to the developer.ciscospark.com, and this is where you get your token to access the REST API. Then let's start with what we propose there. REST is now a well-known concept. What do you need to access resources? Basically, 2 things. A token, it's a security key, and an API. And with that, you're ready to leverage all the capabilities of the platform. Then, we have 4 kinds of token, and I'm going to explain you what's the difference and when you want to use them. The first one we'll play with is the developer token. It's the one you get when you connect on developer.ciscospark.com. Then here, this is where I went, developer.ciscospark.com. I connect with the same credentials, and as I connect, in that area, I get a token. What can I do from there? Well, I can go to the documentation. Here says API reference. I can go for rooms, for example. A room is this space where we are speaking. And does anybody know how we create something in REST? Who knows? Can you raise his hand? Okay, you know? Oh, anybody? You know? How do you create a resource in REST? You do a post, okay? Then we're going to go for the post. And we will say, I want to create a room. It will be in a Codemotion API. Oh, API demo. API is at work. I love APIs. Okay? Then I click the run button. What will it send? It will send a post with my token in there. Can you see bearer? And this is my developer token, developer access. It's valid for 2 years. When you want to revoke it, you unlock. And when you want to get a new one, you relog. And you get another one for 2 years. Then, as I press run, I get standard OS call, 200 OK. And the best part of it is this ID here. It's the unique identifier of the room I just created. Then I just get there. But first, let's see what happened on Spark. If I open Spaces now, see that? I love APIs. I just created it from a REST call. Of course, you can generate code for that and do your usual business as a developer. Next part is that you certainly want to create a message. Then you say, OK, I want to post a new message. And you put the room ID you just went in. And you'll say, there's nothing like Codemotion attending code. Oh, Codemotion, I will put it in Markdown. Okay. We support Markdown by default, which means that now I've got a 200 success. And if I go back there, then this is just what you got. Then from REST calls, now you can start extending, creating, pushing some information to the platform and being replicated on all devices. This is what people call often as ChatOps. It's in the DevOps initiative. You want to push messages in real time, but securely, okay? And from there, what if now I want some other people to join the meeting? I just say, okay, now I want to have Paula join there. And if there's an issue in a backend application, I will just go there and say, hey, now let's start a chat. Let's start calling one another. And we'll discuss the real-time issue we're meeting. Can you see where we went from code to a collaborative experience? Next. This is one-way communication. I'm pushing messages to Spark. Now, what if I wanted a bot to be in that space and responding to me? Give me real-time access to backend data. Okay? What do you need for that? You need your code to post messages. That's what we just did. But you also need your code to be notified when a new message comes in the room. Okay? This is what we call a webhook. Then I've prepared a very quick demo. How do you create a bot? Okay, I was in DevOps this week, in fact 2 days ago, and I was doing some workshops about bots, explaining about bots metadata. Okay, just feel free to engage on my Twitter account. I will be very happy to discuss about bot challenges. And most of the people say, hey, creating a bot, this is something I've never done, or it's complicated. I need some AI, natural language processing, and all that. No. Okay, that's what people are trying to sell you. But creating a bot is easy. It's a webhook, and you push a message, and you're done. Okay, let's do that in 20 seconds. Then, I've got a project I've built. It's on GitHub. It's on DevNet. Okay, and on there we've got a BotKit template. What is BotKit? It is the most famous bot framework in the industry. It's open source, and it can help you connect with several platforms, including Spark. And there is this tool called Glitch. And let me show you what it does. You just click a button. It will clone my repo, push it to the Glitch platform, create a container, do an npm install of my code, create a real-time endpoint, and there we are. The code is running. Then I'm just one step away. Oh, I don't have a bot. Let's create a bot. Then I go to my apps on the developer portal, and I can create a bot or an integration. Let's create a bot for now. Then what's a bot? Basically, it has a name, Codemotion 2007. And let's give it the same name. And it needs an icon. Then let's get there. This is a beautiful picture of a bot. I like it. And then you're done. You've given it a name, a picture, and now you've got a virtual identity that is live, ready to be running, except that there's no code behind it. What you need then is to get the token of that bot so that it can access the API, create the webhook, send messages. Then I get that token, and now I will put it in the code. See the logs error there? I've got an environment file, and this is what it waits for, my token. And I save it. What Glitch does is anytime I do a modification, it rebuilds the code, spawns a new container, and makes it live. And what if I click there? Then here, I've got an API that is live. I've just started it, okay? And which means that this API has connected automatically to Cisco Spark. This is part of the code I gave. And because it knows its IP address, then this jealoushouse.glitch.me is where Cisco Spark will push its notifications. Which means that right now, I can come back to Spark, and I can go into that room, and what will I do? I will add the bot, Codemotion. I've got a lot of Codemotion bots. I do too many Codemotion events, but I love them. Amsterdam was great, guys. You should have been there, but this one is going to be even better. And then Codemotion bot here, look at that. It's speaking to me. Okay, and you can speak to your bots. Okay, Codemotion. And what do you want to do? What do you want to do? Help me. Okay, I don't even know how to write help. Then the bot helps me say, hey, I can't respond to you if you don't give me a good order. Then it does some stuff. Let's change what it can do. Then I will grab that piece of code here. Then this is what it takes to create that bot. Those lines of code. Then now let's change it. Let's name it code. We are at Codemotion. Code. We want to code. What's your favorite language? Personally, a lot of people do some Java. I have to take care of them. Kotlin sounds better. I'm not sure yet. I attended a Kotlin conference. It's some kind of sugar syntax on top of Java, but I like the interoperability part, but yeah, it gets some Kotlin code getting turned into Java bytecode, and there's some magic behind the scene, and I really don't like that as a developer. Then maybe I will try PHP and Node, of course, and don't forget my Ruby friends. Okay? Then, okay, I don't know this language. And I've got my answers. Are you happy with that? Can I save it? Yes, I save my file. Remember, whenever I save, it gets recompiled, spawned again, and then maybe if I get there, I will be able to tell the bot, code. Please, choose a skill among, I've done some check around threads, restart. Has it been restarted yet? Can I force a restart here? Let's try again in case it didn't get restarted. I was too fast. Okay, I've been too fast. Guys, and the tool is so awesome. I don't know how to restart the stuff. Okay, let's forget it for now. I've got a lot to show. Next part. Then now we've seen how you can create a developer token, a bot token, and the next part is how do you go further? Because for now you're chatting, you're speaking to a bot, but we want those video calls. And video is not part of REST. Then now you need an SDK to connect to the Spark platform through a TCP connection, a WebSocket, depending on what you're using. Okay, what's your current client? Okay. If I'm on the web, I will use WebRTC, for example, okay, to display the data and also and a WebSocket to create a connection to the Spark platform. Then for that, we've got SDKs for browsers, for iOS, and another one coming in the next few weeks for Android. Which means that the same experience, everything I'm going to show for now will be from the web, from browsers, but it could run from other platforms. And then now let's go for the OAuth Grand Flow. And then the Spark SDK. Then what's OAuth? For the moment, we've used a developer token and a bot token. But sometimes you want your code to take the identity of the user, to act under the identity of the user, to do something on his behalf. For example, if Paula is using the app, it wants to call with the identity of Paula, calling me, for example. Okay, then I can't put my token in there. I need Paula tokens. Okay, and this is what here we use OAuth. OAuth is pretty easy, and there's a lot of documentation, but the best way to experiment OAuth is certainly to create an OAuth app. Then we created a bot just before. Now I'll create an integration. It's an app that does an OAuth flow. Then I click there, I give it a name, Codemotion, and I will say integration maybe. Oh, it's an awesome app anyway. Let's call it like that. And it's later, I don't have time now. And what's the support email if they want to contact me? And I give them my name. I'm responsible for this app, okay? Some people will give me their identity then. I have to be a well-known person. An icon, and again, I've got this icon there. That looks pretty good. We can do better. Codemotion. Codemotion logo. Could I get an image from Codemotion? Let's pick one. Image. Oh, it goes all together. Yeah. This one looks good. Give it to me. I want that image. Put it there. Okay? And now I need to let Cisco Spark know where to send the token of the user. Then I don't have time to write a lot of code. What I will use is a tool called request bin. If you haven't used it, I'm trying to show you all my tips. Then there's been glitch. Now it's request bin. Then what it is, it's just with one URL. You click on it, and you get an endpoint on the internet unique to you. Then I'm going to post all informations to this bin on the internet. Then scopes. Scopes is what are the authorizations you're giving to the user. The user is giving to your code. Sorry, it's the other way. Then to do video, we'll do Spark All. But if you wanted to do only posting messages, you would choose other options. We also have some admin APIs. I'll be a bit short today to explain you the admin APIs, but this is something you can dig into later. Then now I've got an integration. Then it has a secret, and from my code, I will do a redirect and will point to that address. When I do that on my web page, then let's say I do a redirect to this URL. Then I'm going to this page saying, hey, it's Codemotion app wanting to get a token from you, user. And because he wants to use it to do a lot of stuff, because it will replicate everything you can do with Spark. Then, and it will also need to decrypt messages, because by default, the Cisco Spark platform is encrypted end-to-end. And this is unique. It's an encryption per room. And the keys for the encryption, as an enterprise, you can also have your own key server, which means that even Cisco can't access your data. That doesn't exist in the industry. Video, secured, scalable platform end-to-end. Then let's say I want to accept that authorization. Then now Paola is giving me a consent. And then it says OK, because typically in your code, this is where you would say, hey, you will do the next step. And the next step will be to go to that endpoint you created. Remember there? You just refresh it, and what happened? You received a code. And this is the authorization code that will let you get an access token from Cisco Spark on behalf of that user. Then this is it for the OAuth part. Then OAuth is easy, and you just request a token, then you take that authorization code, you post it, and as a response, you receive a token. And the token is going to expire in 40 days. And you've got a refresh token to make it live longer. Then, OK, we saw OAuth. Now let's speak about that. Now I can get a token from the user. Then I can start the interaction. Then I want to use the SDKs. Then SDKs lets you do a lot of things. And it covers all the REST API, but it also covers coding and having control on the stream that it's coming to you. And then you can use these SDKs on iOS or on the web. And here is the URL. How do you access those SDKs? It's pretty easy. You go to the documentation there, and you choose an SDK for browsers. And then here you can do several things, and you can check the API reference. And how does that work? Well, npm install, that I can do, okay? And then I'm on a browser, then I will write this piece of code. I init the SDK with the authorization URL I gave before. And it will start the flow. And at the end of the flow, I have the SDK with the user token. And from there, what you do is you use phone to create your app becomes a phone now. It has all the phone capabilities, which means that you can place calls. Then it should there, call. And on that call, you will have all the options to start sending video, stop sending video, and playing around with all those features. Now let's see how you can use that from your code. And then this is what you've got. We have 40 minutes. Okay, I will get a bit quicker. You will run this demo later. I want to show you the next step, the next stage. And the next stage is you can either use that SDK and create your own experience where the people will be able to click to start a call, or you can use a ready-to-use widget. It's called the Cisco Spark widget, which means that you have no code to write on your end. And it's been asked by the Salesforce guys. They wanted to embed this video experience inside Salesforce, and they came to Cisco to deliver that widget. And now we made it open source and available to everybody. Then how does that work? And it's pretty easy. What you would do, you would go to the developer portal again, and you will pick widgets. And you'll say, I want to start a demo. Then who do you want to connect with? Then see here, it's a widget. It's a React component, 100% React. And then I want to contact Paola Mancini at italtel.com. And what will I do there? It will spawn up the component and join the room. And the message there, messaging you, is exactly in real time replicated to what's happening on Spark. Messaging you. Can you write something, Paola? Then now Paola's writing. All my devices and experience are being synced by the cloud and given back to my app. Then now I, Stève, she's there. Then now I can start a call from there. I can continue the conversation here. I can come back to my widget and see it there. Hop, I've got all my code. How do you do that from code? Let's go there. I use Visual Studio Code. Okay, it's not Visual Studio. It's Visual Studio Code. It's free. It's open source. It runs on all platforms, Mac, Windows, and Linux. And I've got a Mac there. Just when my Windows machine gets a blue screen, I can turn to my Mac. And it gets a lot better to compile some React component, okay, to browserify and all that. It's a complex process and doesn't work great on my Windows machine. I don't know why I did not have time to investigate, but then I'm using my Mac when I do some React development. Then here, see the code? And what I'm doing here is I'm creating a widget. I'm giving it an access token. Then let's do that. Let's say, oh, what am I going to use? Oh, I need a token. No problem. I can go to Cisco Spock, and I will get that token here. Then, oh, I need to call someone. Oh, I can call someone, or I can call a space. Remember that space we created earlier? Was it I love APIs? Let's say it's this one. And how can I get the identifier of the space? I created a bot for that. It's called Room ID Bot. It's a technical bot and just gives you the ID. Okay, look at that here. It's inside, and it has given me back the room ID of the room. And then it leaves the space alone. It just came here to help for a few seconds. Okay. Then now I can get there. I can pick the room ID. I can put it there. And this component, now I can just run it. I click on there, and it's a widget that's been instantiated in a web page and giving me real-time access. Oh, he wants to show notification. I can give you access to that. And then now if I type, oh, it's a bot we created earlier. Let's see if it works now. At Codemotion bot. Code? Did it restart? No, it still hasn't restarted. Never mind. But here, can you see that? I get all the events that fly in and out. And if I start a video call, let's do that. Let's start a video call now. Then I'm just from the same tool, my same app, my web app, and now I'm waiting for people to join, to start that call. And now Paula is joining. And we are discussing with the same high-quality video you saw earlier. And I can mute my stuff here. We've done a lot of work to create all those buttons. Each of these buttons is a React component. You can recompile the widget and move anything around. You can brand it for your app or your enterprise. Okay? All that is ready. Okay? You're a click away from it. Get your token, pay that piece of code, okay? And you're ready to go. Next step. I want to show you something else. It's the fact that here, I am using a Spark token. What if your users don't have any Spark token? They're just standard users. They're not connected to Spark. You'll need to create a guest token. Then how can you do that? And very easy. You will go to the same page as I showed earlier, add integration, add bot. We will add, in a few weeks from now, add organization. So that you, as a developer, you will have your own set of users. And you will create them on the fly. How does that work? You will issue a JSON token, GWT token. And from there, you'll get a user identity. Let's do a demo live. Then now, I'm going to create, here is my code here. Can you see my screen? I've got a secret. It's unique to my organization. I've got an ID for my org. And then I'm going to create a user. Okay? I'm going to create Susie. You've got to know Susie. She's running the DevNet team, and she's just here for the day from US. Okay? Then just maybe for 2 days even. 2 days. Okay, meet Susie. She's got an awesome experience. You will learn a lot, and she will be happy to learn from you too. Then Susie is going to be my user, and I will give her an ID. I will call her Awesome Susie. I do enter, and what I'm getting here is a JSON token. How can you check a JSON token? You go to gwt.io, and you paste a token. When you do that, look at that. You get the exact contents of the token, except that you can't verify the signature. You don't have the secret, guys. Okay. Then now from there, what I do is you pick this token, and you can go to any tool you like to create dynamically a new token for your user. Then here, I will post to that URL the token I just created here. And let me add that. Then this is a token. I will create it. Then now I click send. And the Spark API is answering me with the token for that user. Okay, then now I've got a user token valid for 6 hours. And which means that I can come back to my app I showed earlier. I was in Visual Studio Code, and I was playing with that widget. And I'll say now I will use that token. And I will even use it there. Spark token. and I will make it talk to a bot we've got at DevNet. Then now I start it back. I've got my widget using that token, then running under Susie identity. Can you see it there? It's Susie. It's a user. She doesn't have a Spark account. It's the one I've just created. OK, I'm cheating there, but it's not your professional account. It's a personal, temporary one, built from my app. And from there, I can talk to the bot that is there, and I can tell him what's happening now. What's happening now with DevNet? Hey, there are several events, and there's one called Codemotion. It's happening in Milan, guys. It's us. Then I'm done now with demos. I will just finish my talk. Then we did all that. What is it? What is Spark? It's a scalable platform, secured. It can do Spark. It also does SIP. I did not have a lot of time to show SIP, but we can discuss it later together. If you want to learn more, you go to the developer portal, but you also have at DevNet, we've got learning labs. You know, this is what I take time to write when I'm not speaking. Then this is where you will learn step by step how to create the bot I showed you earlier. Okay? And you can even do more at DevNet. It's not only Spark, it's more than 80 APIs we've got. Okay? Then you can learn about fog computing. Because how do you do that? How do you run code on devices? The way you do that is that you use our sandboxes. It's a big data center, plenty of devices. You'll get your own, and you'll be able to play with it. And the biggest value I see there is try to experiment. But if you do microservices, it's good to know that we also have a Kubernetes cluster at the end for you. You want to learn a Kubernetes, you don't know where to run your code, you want to do it for free, you just create your DevNet membership. We've got 2 other talks. They will be much better than this one. It will be at 2:10 today, and tomorrow it will be about microservices architectures. And thank you very much, guys.